Hello everyone, and welcome to some more horrific news. Alright, this one popped up. I know the movie's been out for ages, but I thought we'd take a look at it because there was a whole kerfuffle at the time. So, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, the mystery of its missing UK release. Dracula-adjacent horror, The Last Voyage of the Demeter is only just getting a cinema screening in the UK, over a year after it screened in the US. A look at its mysterious absence from our screens. That is a strange title, and I hate that word adjacent now. It's just been used in such a stupid way. But listen, a year later? Why'd they even bother? Anyway, let's have a look. This week, on the 11th of August, is precisely 1 year since the supernatural horror The Last Voyage of the Demeter debuted in US cinemas. Although hardly the most expensive film in the world, it still had a bit of a price tag for it. Blumhouse it wasn't, with the final negative of the movie costing a reported $45 million. Universal Pictures released the film in American cinemas, and in truth, it didn't land with much of a splash. The critical response sailed in the direction of 2 and 3 star reviews, although that's hardly out of the ordinary for supernatural horrors. Nonetheless, it had more profile than your standard horror-ish release, opening in over 27,000 cinemas across the USA. Universal was rewarded with an opening weekend of a disappointing $6.5 million, caught a little in the slipstream of the Barbie and Oppenheimer phenomenon. Still, those two films were on their 4th weekend, and competitions such as Meg 2, The Trench, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem would be doing decent business too. Hardly comparable. Like, if you're going to see a horror movie, you're going to see a horror movie. Oh, this is going to be a painful article to read, I can tell that now. By the time The Last Voyage of the Demeter left American cinemas, it had just $13 million to its name, with another $8 million added elsewhere in the world. However, those overseas takings were damaged by corporate shenanigans that are responsible for the movie's absence from the UK market to this day. Just to set the scene of the movie, I'll be quick. I don't have a word count to hit. It's from... oh god, right, this is hurting me to read. Who is this idiot? Sorry, I'm struggling here, folks. I don't have a word count to hit. It's from the Troll Hunter and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark director Andre Overdahl, and it's based on the chapter in Bram Stoker's original Dracula book. The chapter in question, The Captain's Log, tells the story of Dracula stalking the crew of the Demeter as it voyages from Transylvania to London. It's not a straight Dracula story, but it's certainly an annex to it. The point being that even if the film wasn't much cop, a Universal Pictures backed Dracula picture, with Javier Botet playing the Count, would be expected to do reasonable business, and at least get a solid release. The movie is partly set in the UK, but was filmed primarily in Germany and Malta. The Last Voyage of the Demeter had been in development hell on and off for about 20 years, before it was announced in 2019 that Amblin Partners, the company still chaired by Steven Spielberg, had picked the project up. As you might expect, the COVID-19 pandemic slowed down the planned production of the film, but still it was before cameras in the summer of 2021. The UK release had been inked for August 2023, alongside its American bow, but the clues to what went wrong go all the way back to 2015, and depressingly have nothing to do with the film. Instead, it's to do with Amblin Partners, at least at first. Crucially, Amblin Partners isn't quite the same as Amblin Productions Company that made beloved movies in the 1980s. Instead, Amblin Partners was a union of Reliance DreamWorks Pictures and Entertainment One that in turn affected distribution rights. DreamWorks films were being distributed in the early 2010s by Disney in the US, but the firm now works off the NBC Universal lot in the US, hence Universal Pictures. Outside the US though, the distribution of Amblin Partners films were often through Entertainment One, and here's why The Last Voyage of the Demeter ran aground. Entertainment One was having a mix of successes and failures throughout the 2010s, but its asset book was substantially bolstered by having Peppa Pig on its asset register. This, among a few other names, was what persuaded Hasbro Entertainment to snap up the firm in 2019, completing the deal within months of a global pandemic hitting in earnest. The part of the Entertainment One business that Hasbro was evidently least interested in was theatrical distribution operation, even more so after COVID-19 hit. It soon decided to pull out of that side of the business altogether, as such after Entertainment One had distributed Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans in the UK. It was announced that the UK operation was shutting its doors, the London office was closed, staff were made redundant, and it left one unreleased film absolutely in limbo, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The movie dropped off the UK release schedule, but the expectation was it would soon reappear, especially when Hasbro then elected to sell the film's studio assets of Entertainment One to Lionsgate. In a simple word, the movie catalogue would transfer from one company to another. But of course, it ain't that simple. Entertainment One was rebranded as Lionsgate Canada, Canada being the original home of Entertainment One when it was founded back in the late 1970s. There was no interest in resurrecting the closed-off London office of E1. Lionsgate, of course, already has its UK presence, and the UK distribution rights to The Last Voyage of the Demeter were either kept in Lionsgate's locker or apparently homeless. Appreciating that the US box office returns won't have led to companies scrambling to give the film a wide UK release. We're at a point where you can't even rent the film on video on demand services over here. It's not had a theatrical release, a physical media release, or any kind of digital release at all in the UK. Let's charitably say that those in the UK who have seen the film have either travelled overseas to do so or invested in a good VPN service until the end of this coming month. Those are the main options. Or have your friend randomly posted the DVD out of the blue. God, if you remember the unboxing video I did, like Chris just sent me the DVD and I had no idea, so that's how I got it. The curious thing here is that Universal distributed the films elsewhere in Europe. In fact, as recently as January, it took the trouble to issue a film and DVD and Blu-ray in Germany. There might not be a big market for the film, but there's at least some market for it. That's why it seems that Lionsgate has finally concluded it might be worth testing the water. At the end of this month, at 2024's Fright Fest, The Last Voyage of the Demeter is finally getting its UK debut, and a big of an auspicious slot too has been scheduled for the past Saturday lunchtime on Saturday 24th of August 2024. And that's it, the sole programmed UK screening of the film in the year since the wide American release. It's something at least, and it should at least pave the way for a digital release in the near future, but it's turned into a relatively hidden example of how a reasonable sized movie gets chewed up by the corporate machinery. Its chance of a wide release killed by takeovers, mergers, shareholders, and in this case, a bit of Peppa Pig. Count Dracula himself would not approve. And that is it. Mate, you're a crap writer. God, that was bloody hard to read out. What a... Simon Brew, go home. That was just super clunky. Right, he doesn't have a word count to hit, so what's all this first 4 paragraphs of absolute crap? Just get to the point. I've never seen film stories before. What's this meant to be? Tell a story, Jack and Nori, waffle, waffle, waffle. Alright, anyway, so what they've done is they've stuck it into a film festival. Whoopie-doo. That's the whole story. So they've got an empty slot, they've managed to throw it in there for a bit of filler. They must have been struggling to find releases. What a pointless argument. We've already covered this. This isn't brand new news. Like, we knew it was Entertainment One, and the fact that it was sold to Lionsgate, a competitor of Universal, meant it was scuppered. Like, that's the story in a nutshell. I've already covered it ages ago, months ago actually. But I thought it was interesting in case something new came out of it, but this is just a puff piece. Anyway, there you go. I wouldn't get excited about the movie anyway. Check out my review. It's really struggling to make a whole movie out of a chapter and a book. To be honest, it's only a scene setter. Like, it's not a crucial chapter in Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's just basically saying that Dracula's an inhuman monster. And there you go. What do you think? Is everyone in the UK excited that it's going to appear in a random slot in the film festival? Is it saved? Is everyone going to change their opinion on it? There you go anyway. Let me know what you think. Until next time, keep up the channel, do the type of clicky things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.